Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Rush on Metro Television. We are live on DSTV channel 277, live on Facebook, and YouTube is Metro TV Ghana. Follow us on Instagram, Metro TV_GH. We are still talking to the Ghana National Fire Service. I think weeks ago we spoke about their operations and how to protect ourselves during Christmas. We are still continuing on that conversation and also the safety measures that we have to adhere to during this Christmas. This morning, I have Joan Ejay, who is the Assistant Divisional Officer of the PR staff of the Ghana National Fire Service. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you here. Yeah, I think weeks ago we had Alex here talking about how to be safe. But then the Ghana Fire Service, in Ghana, we have recorded 40 fire incidents during this Christmas. Those are per reports that have come out in the news outlets. Let's discuss that.
Thank you very much. Very good morning to your viewers. Indeed, we have had 44 fire outbreaks on Christmas Day alone.
Christmas Day alone,
yes.
Okay.
Christmas Day alone. And this is not what we want to see.
Yeah.
It's alarming, quite alarming. And so, particularly because in spite of the efforts we are putting in terms of our education, visiting schools, visiting public places, reaching you on social media and all. For us in Ghana National Fire Service, we would have expected that the numbers would be coming down by now. But unfortunately, we are seeing a rise rather in the numbers within this short space of time. And it's not good. Yeah. It is not good.
In Accra alone, how many incidents did you record?
Tema recorded about 18 of the total 44 fire outbreaks. Okay. I think Greater Accra recorded 1 or 2. And so we putting them together, we can see that in Greater Accra, adding Tema, so we had about 20 or thereabout fires. Okay. On Christmas Day alone.
Christmas Day, on the 25th of December.
Yes.
What is causing this fire?
Non-adherence to, let me put it simply, non-adherence to fire safety protocols, okay. Non-adherence to good fire safety practices. Just like I said from the beginning, even beforehand, before we enter into the festivities proper, you would notice that the Ghana National Fire Service has heightened fire safety. We are everywhere. And so if we are not getting the kind of results that we expect, then it means that we are not putting in, we as members of the public are not putting in the kind of efforts that we need to put in order to prevent these fires. Because our aim is to prevent the fires and not to let them happen for us to go and be extinguishing them. Exactly. Because once there's a fire outbreak, you lose something. And so our ultimate aim, the first on the list is for us to be able to prevent the fires. And on our part, we have to educate you. We have to tell you about the things that would bring about these fires, which we are doing. On your part or on the part of the public, they are supposed to take our messages very seriously and make sure that they implement every one of them. That is the only way we can bring fire outbreaks, because there are certain things that nobody can do for you. We can help you up to a particular point, but unfortunately we can't be in every house checking how you are checking your electrical installations, for instance. We can't be there checking that you are on and offing your gas cylinder in the proper way, or you are handling your LPG apparatus in the proper way. But we can tell you how to do it, and you have to implement it by yourself. And so if we are seeing negative results, then it means that we are not taking the Ghana National Fire Service and its messages very seriously as we should. Yes.
What you mentioned, electricity, sometimes it is a problem from the early stages, that is the wiring, or maybe certain behaviors that actually cause these electrical faults in a home or maybe in a community.
It's a combination of all of these things that you have mentioned. You know, we teach or we educate that you should get a qualified or a certified engineer, electrical engineer, to do your wiring for you.
Yeah.
And so if you get it wrong from the beginning, you are likely to face challenges along the way.
Yeah.
Yes. And also, you could have a good professional to handle your installations for you, but along the line, you also have to put in certain efforts.
Yeah.
You know, how you use the system that he has put in place for you.
True.
It's also very important. And so that's why I said it's a combination of all of the things that you have mentioned.
In these festivities that are going on, you've we've spoken about the 44 fire outbreak that happened alone on the 25th. When you actually move to these places where these things happen, sometimes when you get there, what is the reaction of the people? Yes, because like it's like you've been hammering on something. The response isn't being adhered. So when you get there and things happen, what is like the first point of call? What are certain conversations that happen there?
You know, typical of somebody who is in a very unfavorable situation. You know, sometimes you may want to blame others for your predicament.
Yeah.
And most often that is the kind of reaction we get.
Yeah.
And that is not in itself very good. Because you see, if you don't take responsibility for your actions, then it means that you are not really learning anything from it. And if you are not learning anything from it, it means that what happens to you is likely to happen to you again and again.
Yeah.
You see. But, you know, we can understand some of these things. You know, when you find yourself in a particular situation, it is very difficult because, like I always say, everything you have worked for your entire life, and you, under your very eyes, it goes down the drain within some 15 or 20 minutes. It is not a good thing for anybody to experience. And so we can understand them.
Yeah.
But we are also insisting, as the Ghana National Fire Service, that if we had put in certain measures, if we had adhered to certain things, we would have prevented such occurrences. Yeah. For instance, even if the fire should start, let's just say that it means that you haven't done certain things already.
Yeah.
But at least if you were to have a fire extinguisher in the house, and if you were to have knowledge on how to use it, you could have just controlled that fire and prevented it from escalating into what you have, like burning your entire house down.
Exactly.
Please, do you understand it? So that is it. So as for the reactions, it's about fire service not doing this, not doing that. Meanwhile, the core of the problem is
should every home have a fire extinguisher?
Absolutely.
So, but it's not common. We see more fire extinguishers in companies, institutions, bigger facilities. But individual homes, I live in Adenta. So, and I know Adenta, one of the very popular area is the Snit Flats. I think I've never entered any of the Snit Flats to see any of the fire extinguishers hanging anywhere before. So how is the awareness for everyone getting one going?
On our part, we always advocate for every household to have at least one fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
You see, it also boils down to how much interest we attach to these things.
True.
I always say that when you are coming out of your room, nobody reminds you to lock your door.
It's true.
But we always have to be reminded over and over again to get one fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Even with the vehicles we use. Somebody will buy a vehicle at a very high cost. Buying just one fire extinguisher to protect that vehicle becomes a problem.
Yeah.
So it tells you about our interest, how much importance we attach to certain things.
True.
But unfortunately, the fact that you do not attach any importance doesn't mean that the adverse effects will not happen to you.
Yeah.
So what it is that we have to avert our minds to these things. They are realities that are with us.
Yeah.
They are realities.
Yeah.
They are not myths. They are realities. If you fail to do it, you would face the consequences. Yeah. Okay, so it is advisable, it is very prudent for every household to have a fire extinguisher, for every vehicle to have a fire extinguisher, for every institution to have fire extinguishers. And Ghana National Fire Service, there are different types of fire extinguishers. And so we offer advice on what type,
use at a particular time.
Yes, depending on what you do in your premises, what you have in your house, how big your house is, and all of that. Yeah. Yes, and so that is it.
At the beginning of this year, what was the focus of the Ghana National Fire Service in 2022? What was the main focus?
Our main responsibility to Ghanaians is to protect lives and property from the ravages of fire and other emergency situations.
Matters are all right.
Yes, yes, like floods, like road traffic collision and all. And so it has always been our focus. But in times like this, when we realize that matters or issues, situations of this nature are likely to rise, we heighten our education. And we give you a tailored, education to suit the situation. So for instance, around this time, we are in the festivities and we know that people will be doing a lot of cooking. People will be traveling. We would have visits, and maybe somebody who is not very conversant with the LPG apparatus will be using it. And so we try to teach you. We try to teach you to not to let your children come close to the kitchen and all of that. We also give you education on road traffic accident and collision, how to prevent it. Yes, and so it's the general focus of the Ghana National to protect lives and property, but we also give you we tailor our education to suit certain times of the year, so that when the situations come, you are able to deal with it.
Moving forward, like before we touch a bit on the safety measures that we have to adhere to, I know there are steps that you go through. I think when the other PR was here, we did the practice of the fire. I said, you take off the pain, and we've done that. But then we will still go on.
The question is that, are you able to do it? Can you do it?
Oh, yeah, I can do it. Oh, you should watch the previous interview.
Is it?
Or if producer can bring the fire extinguisher, that is right close to the door. We would have done it. But then, moving forward, thank you very much. Moving forward, 2023, what are you embarking on, or what should we expect from the Ghana Fire Service?
Moving forward in 2023, expect visibility. As we are having it now. Expect that we come very close to you with fire safety education, all in a bid to suppress the numbers further. We have chalked some successes. We have had fire outbreaks coming down over the year 2022. If you follow the statistics, you realize that we are doing quite well. It tells you that the public is gradually imbibing and adhering to some of these ones. But you see, we still have a long way to go, because this is not where we want to be. We want to go into the single numbers. Yes, we are still in the triple, the double and all, and we don't want that.
Exactly.
So our focus is not going to be any different from our mandate, but we are going to heighten our efforts in order to achieve our focus.
So let's still touch on the safety measures. What should we do in this time? And bear in mind that the weather has changed. Yes, the Harmattan has set in gradually. And most of us who are sort of like experienced cold, like we've seen it, what should we be careful about in times of this? Because in January, fire, I mean the weather. So let's go through all that safety.
You're right. That is why this time is quite crucial in terms of fire outbreak, because the weather has changed. What it means is that there's less moisture in everything. Everything is gradually becoming dry. Even your body. You notice that your body is becoming, your skin is becoming quite dry. And it tells you that, and once we have this situation, then it tells you that things are more likely to catch fire, than they would have been maybe in the rainy season. Even though the rainy season also comes with its own issues. And so what we have to do is that for bushfires, we have to be very careful. This is not the time for you to go for hunting and set fire to things. This is not the time to burn your farm. You should also weed around our houses. we should not go burning our refuse dumps around this time. Even if you want, this time we advise that you shouldn't even do anything like that. Even if you must, then you have to create a fire belt or fire break around what you are burning. And for this, we have our volunteers in the rural areas mostly to help you to create these fire breaks so that you don't fires that you can do control burning. You don't have fires escalating into other people's property if you must burn. Then we also say that even in our houses, we should practice good housekeeping because once housekeeping means that we should arrange our rooms in a way that you don't have your dresses here, and because it's easier for your room to burn and quicker if you have things scattered all around. Yes, but if you have things in a very arranged manner, for instance, when this chair catches fire, it will just burn, and because there are no other combustible materials very close to it, the chair would burn, and if you are lucky, it will just be this chair, and it will not spread to other pieces. Yes, and also when we come to our houses, we will do a lot of cooking in these times, and so we have to know how to use our LPG apparatus, the cylinder, the cooker, and all. And also, we should be careful about our electrical installations. If the appliance is faulty, please send it for repairs. Don't force and use it. We should not overload our sockets. If we notice that our sockets and switches are faulty, please, let's not force to use them. It will cost you just a little more to repair, but it will cost you so much if you decide to use it as it is. And also, these are Christmas lights. Some of them, we plug them. Yes. We shouldn't just leave them unattended. When you are leaving the house, make sure that you put them off. When they are faulty, please don't use them. Send them for repairs. Don't force and use them. Some of us have used them over the years.
True.
And even though we can see the
wires,
issues with them, we still want to use them. Please. It would cost you more if there should be a fire outbreak as a result of that faulty than for you to repair it. So these are a few, and we should also be careful with candles and the coils. Mosquito coils. Those of us who use them, we advise that if you're using a candle, if you must use a candle, even though these days we have all manner of lights. Chargeable lights, which when you charge, you detach it from electricity and you can use it. But some people still insist on using candles.
The candle,
But if you must use candles, please put it in a ceramics bowl and put water in the bowl. Then you mount the. Don't smoke in bed. Don't bring coils close to your bed. Because they are all, and also remember to put coils on the ceramic bowl so that when they finish burning, they will just cool off in the bowl.
I mean, Joanne has taught us a lot, and just a little that I remember, it is using the pass. When you are using the fire extinguishers, you do the pull, you take off the key, you aim, that's the A, and then you squeeze, and then you sweep or you spread. But then I'm told you focus the fire not up, but the roots.
That's where you aim, yes. At the seat of fire. It means what is burning.
What is burning,
and
not
the flame.
The flame.
Yes.
You see, I've been taking my lessons.
You've been very impressive.
And I try to turn off everything when I'm going. First, I wasn't doing that. But now I turn off everything from television to fan to plugs. Thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome. Please spread the message. Educate people around you.
Yes. We should be very, 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 very careful. Johnny J, thank you very, very much
welcome,
for joining us this morning on Morning Rush. Really, really appreciate your time. And I hope you have been educated. The weather has changed. We should be very, very careful and just adhere to whatever the Ghana National Fire Service has been telling us.